Next tonight, a group of Jersey politicians have won a long-running fight for access to confidential documents about the island's new finance centre. Work is underway on the first of a series of new buildings on the Esplanade site in St Helier, which have been mired in controversy.
A scrutiny panel had asked for copies of paperwork from the state-owned development company which is behind the project, but they objected, saying if they ended up in the public domain it could damage their business and leave their board of directors open to legal action. Well, Gary Burgess is here to make some sense of it all. So why has this got so messy, Gary?
It's been going on for years, hasn't it? The rights and wrongs over whether a state-owned company should be building Grade A office space when there are some in the private sector who say they're perfectly able and willing to do just that. We saw last year, I think, on 3 separate occasions, protests in St Helier around the Esplanade site itself. And at the same time, we heard from a scrutiny committee saying we want to review some key paperwork here, the tenancy agreement, the construction agreement, the funding agreement. We want to see that everything is above board. Well, the development companies say, actually, no, we don't want to release that information because if it ends up in the public domain, that could be a very damaging situation commercially and leave their directors open to the risk of legal action. Well, they've been overruled and it means they have to release it. Scrutiny, they're delighted.
It really reinforces or underlines the point that we as parliamentary bodies, we're an important part of the checks and balances of the government system we have, and this really underlines our responsibilities and our rights to receive information, even on a confidential basis, to properly do our job on behalf of the public.
A very happy man there, a very unhappy States of Jersey development company. They say, look, we're not opposed to openness, but there are some real issues here when it comes to confidential information appearing in the public domain. To demonstrate that, I visited their offices today. I was allowed to see this box of documents. These are the documents in question. I was allowed to look at the cover, but I was not allowed to turn them over and see what was inside, because if I did, that would be a breach of that confidentiality. Those directors would face the threat of legal action. It's a precedent that could apply in the future to other state-owned companies like Jersey Electricity and JT. There is a principle at issue, say the company, and they say openness isn't always what you want.
It's a small island. You have very commercially sensitive information. You know, the terms that you offer different clients may not be identical. And it would be very damaging, potentially, for those types of people if that information was leaked into the public domain.
Gary, a very blunt response from the Jersey Development Company there. What happens next? Well,
we're in for a fight. We're in for a legal fight. They do make the point, by the way, they've made this information available through third-party accountants to scrutiny, but the legal fight goes on. The States of Jersey Development Company, they say they're going to take this to a judicial review. I've spoken to legal experts today. They say that will cost in excess of £20,000 to do. I also know already the scrutiny panel and privileges and procedures have racked up bills of in excess of £5,000. Who pays for all of this? You, me, and everybody in Jersey watching tonight's programme who's a taxpayer. You feel there is much more to come on this story. The building is happening right now, but the fate of its future is very much still open to question.
Gary, thank you.